This movie is full of adventure. At the beginning of the movie, we see a sacred tree in the Amazon. The petals of this tree have healing powers and can cure any illness. The petals are called tears of the moon. Over the centuries, many expeditions have searched for these legendary healing tears, but none have succeeded. Don Lope de Aguirre, determined to possess the tear's power, almost died in his search, but was found by the tree's guardian and nursed back to life. However, driven by greed and selfishness, Aguirre attacked the guardians, prompting the jungle to defend itself. Aguirre and his conquistadors were cursed and disappeared afterward. McGregor recounts the story of the tears of the moon to a group of top scholars who currently possess the arrowhead. He points to Lágrimas de Cristal on a map of the Amazon, indicating the highest likelihood of finding the sacred tears of the moon using the arrowhead. The scholars think he is out of his mind and laugh at him. Lily instructs McGregor that the scholars will listen him for a few more minutes. Meanwhile, Lily silently leaves her seat and heads toward the library. She has a map of the building drawn on her hand. A man mistakes her for a secretary and directs her to the library. She finally sneaks inside, but a man interrupts her. She uses a chloroform handkerchief to subdue him and carefully reaches the box containing the arrowhead. At the same time, Sir James enters with Prince Joachim, who becomes outraged upon seeing the empty box. Suddenly, Joachim sees a woman running and asks Sir James to catch her. Lily fights her way out through the window and hangs in the air with the help of a ladder. At this exact moment, McGregor, coming out of the building, sees her suspended in midair and stops a bus. She jumps in, and they escape with the arrowhead. On the other hand, Prince Joachim is furious when he discovers Lily has escaped with the arrowhead. He beats everyone, and Sir James discloses his name and everything about Lily. Lily starts packing and gets ready to leave for the Amazon. McGregor, a delicate man, does not want his sister to go alone on this dangerous adventure. In the next scene, we see Frank showing the wonders of the Amazon to passengers on his steamer. He dramatically explains that every tree and petal in the jungle can be dangerous. Suddenly, a few native tribesmen appear, and all the passengers get frightened. These are con men hired by Frank to earn extra money. Meanwhile, Lily and McGregor reach Porto Velho, Brazil, where Prince Joachim has already sent his men to retrieve the arrowhead from Lily and stop her from catching a steamer to reach the jungle. Frank bids farewell to his passengers at Porto Velho, and Mr. Nilo takes all the money he earned from the trip. Frank has to pay his debt. Additionally, Nilo confiscates the steamer's engine, locks it, and takes the key. Nilo warns Frank that if he doesn't return the money within a week, he will confiscate his boat too. Frank goes to Nilo's room to get the keys but cannot open the box. At this moment, Lily comes looking for Mr. Nilo. She believes Frank is Nilo and helps him open the box with a pin. Then he gets the keys. When Lily wants to go to De Cristal, he warns her about the dangers. After a discussion, he agrees to take her there for a hefty price. Meanwhile, McGregor brings Nilo, and Lily starts negotiating prices with him. Suddenly, Frank sees the arrowhead around Lily's neck. He blows a whistle, and a leopard jumps on him. Frank fights with the leopard, tricking it out of the window. He does all this to convince Lily that he is the only one capable of handling the jungle's dangers. Everyone appreciates his bravery, and Lily is impressed. She makes a deal to travel with Frank. Later, Frank thanks the leopard Proxima, as this was all done to close the deal with Lily. After a while, Lily and McGregor board the boat to leave immediately. Frank begins throwing McGregor's extra luggage into the water and does not notice that Prince Joachim's men have trapped Lily in a birdcage. They start the boat anyway. Lily opens the cage with a pin and fights off the men to reach the ship. Frank shows her the way. She does not jump into the water, but runs to the other side and slides into the boat. Prince Joachim wants the arrowhead at all costs, knowing it can win the war. He follows Lily's ship with his submarine. Frank notices the submarine following them, fuels the ship's engine, and speeds the boat to avoid the approaching torpedo. However, the submarine destroys Nilo's harbor. They finally escape into the river, away from Nilo and Prince Joachim. Initially, McGregor is well dressed, but he becomes annoyed by the blazing heat. Suddenly, Lily sees dolphins jumping in the sea. Frank warns her not to look them in the eye, or she will have nightmares, but she does anyway. Lily makes a video of Frank and captures the jungle's beauty. Frank also tries using the camera the way Lily asked him to. Meanwhile, Prince Joachim finds Aguirre to reach the Tears of the Moon. For dinner, Frank catches piranha and adds some blood for flavor. McGregor cannot eat it and goes to bed. While he is busy applying cream on his face, Proxima quietly enters his cabin. Frank and Lily talk, and McGregor suddenly comes running, frightened by Proxima. Lily gets angry, realizing Proxima is Frank's pet, and that he lied about saving people from it. Meanwhile, Prince Joachim finds Aguirre and detonates rocks to start the river, freeing him from the jungle's curse. Lily has a nightmare of serpents and wakes up terrified. Frank tells her they have to pass through a harsh river area. He secretly signals Proxima to steal the arrowhead from McGregor. Suddenly, they reach the edge of the river. Frank struggles to control the steamer in the strong water, but manages to navigate correctly. They both start vomiting, and Proxima also starts vomiting because she licked a fallen wine bottle and got drunk, failing to steal the arrowhead. After all this, they stop the boat. Frank and McGregor step on land, and McGregor tells Frank he will always be beside his sister. When he told his relatives he was uninterested in girls, only Lily stood by him. Lily takes advantage of the time and searches Frank's cabin, finding maps to search for the Tears of the Moon. Frank tells Lily he gave up a long time ago. Suddenly, tribal people shoot arrows at them and they fall unconscious. The tribal people take them to their leader. Frank speaks their language and tells them the leader wants the arrowhead and for them to leave. Lily refuses, unties her hands and snatches a spear to attack, but they start laughing. The people are actors working under Frank's command. Lily gets angry at Frank's deception and punches him. That night, Frank asks McGregor if Lily will forgive him. McGregor assures him she will never forgive him after these lies. A woman there reads the arrowhead's language and knows they will find the tree where the moon sinks. Lily argues that she no longer trusts Frank and pays the rest of the money. She tells him she will not travel with him anymore. McGregor unknowingly colors his face with permanent dye. Meanwhile, Aguirre's dead soldiers start waking up. Aguirre confronts Lily, demanding the arrowhead. She refuses, and branches entangle her. She removes the branches and burns a few of Aguirre's undead soldiers. Frank fights Aguirre, but Aguirre stabs him. Frank falls into the river, and Lily cries over his presumed death. A tribal woman advises Lily to escape into the jungle with the arrowhead. Aguirre's soldiers want to reach the Tears of the Moon to lift their curse and reclaim their souls. Aguirre sends bees to Prince Joachim to reveal Lily's location in exchange for the arrowhead. Meanwhile, Lily finds Frank alive in the jungle. She is happy but surprised as the sword in his body is not bleeding. Frank reveals he is over 400 years old and cannot die due to the curse. She helps remove the sword from his body, and McGregor faints at the sight. Lily wakes him up and appreciates all he has done for her. Despite his broken leg, she hugs him and promises to return soon. Prince Joachim sees bees entering his submarine and realizes they are pointing to a specific location on the map. He understands their message and heads there. Lily wants to know why Frank can't die. He explains that his name is Francisco, and his father served under Aguirre's father. After his father's death, Aguirre's father raised him like a son, and they were like brothers. Aguirre's daughter fell ill, and they embarked on a journey to find the Tears of the Moon to save her. They were saved by a tribal chief using the Tears of the Moon, but Aguirre's impatience led him to attack the chief, who cursed them all before dying. This curse prevents them from escaping the river. Frank did not support Aguirre's madness and eventually imprisoned him and his men in a cave. Frank built a boat and a town, but does not know who freed them. A tribal woman brings McGregor to the boat to reach the tree. Suddenly, Prince Joachim arrives and takes McGregor with him while the tribe leader swims away. He forces McGregor to lead them to Lily's location. The boat arrives at La Luna Rota, the true location of the Tears of the Moon. Lily must overcome her fear of swimming to help Frank pull a lever to open a chamber, as his body is too large. After several attempts and almost losing her breath, she succeeds, and the river water recedes. Unfortunately, Joachim and McGregor have been waiting underwater. Joachim forces them into the passage, and Lily is forced to hand over the arrowhead. The German explains that he will use the petals to win the war. They reach the tree, and Prince Joachim orders Lily and Frank to activate the magic tree. They discover a red gem hidden in the arrowhead. Under the blood moon, Lily places the gem into a broken-hearted warrior figure, and the tree starts to bloom. Since only one can receive a petal, Lily deliberately shoots Frank, then walks toward the petal. The immortal Frank returns to the boat and eliminates Joachim's men, while Lily outsmarts Joachim and runs toward the petals before time runs out. She secures a petal and gives it to Frank. Suddenly, the conquistadors join the chaos, and Aguirre attacks Joachim with snakes for betraying him. Frank gives the petal to McGregor and fights Aguirre and his men on the boat. He steers the boat toward a wall to block the river. Joachim appears, but McGregor punches him, causing him to be killed by a falling pillar. The boat crashes into the wall, stopping the water flow and permanently imprisoning Aguirre, his men, and Frank. Lily decides to give the petal to Frank. It initially does not work, but Proxima roars as Frank's stone encasing crumbles. Frank is revived, but without immortality. Lily immediately hugs the annoying skipper. The trio safely arrives at the harbor and returns to London. At the end of the movie, McGregor rejects an invitation for membership from the Royal Society, while Lily buys Frank his long-awaited automobile. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like too.